Hey, this is Wolf from Armoury-Terrain, and today's video is dedicated to the lovely young ladies over at the Larp Fairies. That's right, for Kaye and Megan. Now, today's project here in stormy old Brisbane, yes, stormy I say, because in the last 24 hours we've received about this much rain, so lots of localised flooding and it's kind of damp underfoot, but one of the joys of living almost in the tropics, I guess. Anyway, the project for today is a sunflower wand. I thought this would work well for fairies, also because Kaye and Megan bring such light and joy to the rest of the LARPing world. I thought I'd show them how to make a nice wand so they can see their way around at night. For this wand, I am using a work light, which I just went down to my local cheap shop and I think I spent $5 on, and it lights up like this. Whee! For the handle of the wand, I'm using an old paintbrush handle. See, there's a reason not to throw stuff away. Rubbish is useful eventually. I'm then going to use some craft foam, mainly for the petals that go all the way around in 2 layers for the sunflower, as well as some green and orange craft foam to put around the light. While putting the wand together, even though hot glue is a great thing, I don't trust it. Therefore, once you've glued the torch onto the stick with the button on the top, cut some gaff tape or Gorilla tape into some thin strips and wrap it, there, I just broke the hot glue then, wrap it around the light down to the post. Now, by doing this, you're giving yourself a bigger chance of this surviving. So I'm going to use 2 layers of tape. And it still turns on and off. And the third piece that I've cut, because I've cut the tape into 3 thin strips, I'm going to wrap around the handle to help hold it all together, because hot glue, while it's great, isn't good enough, and I don't have time to wait for liquid nails to cure up or to put a pin in this. So by doing this like this, how many times can I say this? By wrapping the tape around the handle, you've made a much stronger bond and it's a lot harder for it to break off. Okay, back, you can see on the back here, there's 2 holes in the piece of foam I've glued on. That's because to change the batteries, you need to take the back off. Now to take the back off, you've got to take the screws out. So I've left holes to take the screws out. And on the front, some nice cherry orange to conceal the black. Now to glue more on. Okay, so foam wise, I'm up to this stage. As you can see, my cutting's a little bit rough. I'm doing this in quite a hurry today. I'm sure anyone that's going to duplicate it, like say the Larp Fairies, will do a really great job. Now, so I don't lose where the on-off switch is, I've put a gemstone on the top of it. I'm sure though that if you're a fairy, you could bedazzle the entire flower, if you wanted to. The next step after that is to glue the flower petals on. So starting at the top, just along the seam line, I think, between the orange and the green, I've pre-cut a whole bunch of little yellow petals, and they're just going to glue in place, if everything works properly. Bit of hot glue. I've done well with this project. I've only burnt myself 3 times, so that's doing for me very well. Now don't forget to overlap your petals. Sunflowers have an absolute mass of petals, so overlap them where possible, and then we're going to go through and put a second row of petals in behind the first row. Well, here we are at the end of the build video with a finished magic sunflower. Now it is a bit bulky to just carry around all the time, but if you're exploring a cave system or a labyrinth or a dungeon, or hey, just walking around at night, I think it could be a cool thing to have. Now I had to alter it a little bit. I had too many layers of foam and stuff above the switch, so I simply cut them out, yes you can see it there, and glued a bead on top of it. So now I can blind the camera and show off my magic sunflower. Wow, that is nice and bright. That's really cool. And anyway, this is Wolf making a video to inspire the Larp Fairies. Please ladies, go out and make something.